0.7%. But if you look up the column up one, pending sales are up 9.5%. So we're starting to make up for the lost time of really when things, really the only month that we really saw a big dip was in May. April was okay. March, obviously, it hadn't hit yet. So I think that's very interesting um, as you kind of look at it. And they have pending sales up 11.1% moving forward, and then having closed sales in the month of June up 4.1%. I mean, really, June was a very healthy month. The average close price is up 5.2%, which is in June, which was actually greater than the first half of the year of 4%. So it's pretty logical. The fact of the matter is because of the limited inventory, prices continue to rise even in the midst of the pandemic, which would be a little bit counterintuitive. But if you go down to the last item on the screen share, which is the inventory of homes for sale, that's or the second to the last, I should say. That's the most telling statistic of all. If you want to put it in a relationship of how well we're really doing, if you look at it, it says the inventory for homes for sale in 2019 in June was 2,035 end of month, and this year is 1,458, and yet we have 11.1% increase in pendings. So that's, and if you look at the months of supply of inventory at the bottom, it's a 33% decline. So we had 1.8 months of supply in June of 2019, and we had 1.2 months. And to just kind of put that into perspective, you've got to recognize, or one should recognize, that there's dead inventory in those numbers. So you've got houses that have been on the market, that person that just isn't motivated to sell, or that problem house. So when you really think about that, 1.2 is a little bit misleading, as low as it is. I mean, there's literally every time a house is going on, one is selling. Which is pretty amazing. And I think Glenn Weaver asked, what's a normal, or maybe a market in equilibrium, and Glenn, that would be at least 2.5 times that number. So a normal market in equilibrium would be, let's say, 3 months of inventory would be kind of normal. So for example, we have maybe at any given time 1,500 houses available, 1,458 at the end of June. It would not be crazy at all for that number to be triple that. So 4,500. I think at the peak in 2009, when things were at their, I think maybe the January or February of 2010 was the absolute bottom of the market nationwide, and probably in Omaha too, if memory serves. And there was at least 6,000 houses available at that time. So that gives you a sense of how dramatic that difference is. That said, isn't it telling and incredible how well the market is faring from the standpoint of units that are being sold? And I'm hearing a lot of things anecdotally about different perspectives on situations. I think if you're a major high producing agent, it's difficult right now to achieve your numbers, because there's just a limited supply, and if you're at kind of optimal capacity, if you're a 10, 12, 15, 20, $25 million producer or team, it's just really hard to hit those numbers with this low inventory. But what we are finding is the people that are kind of up and coming, that are hustling, they're making it happen. They're having to write 6, 7, 8 offers to get something, but if they're hustling, they're making it happen. And so there's people that are growing their business. It is really difficult with this low of inventory. If you're a super high producer, let's say in the top 1 or 2%, to demonstrate growth right now. And if you're in that category and you're kind of down on yourself, it's just difficult. It's not like you're having listing appointments and you're losing. There's just people aren't listing because of the pandemic. So the phenomenon of that is sort of interesting, but I would implore you guys to do still what you think is right and safe, and don't push the needle past where you're comfortable. I think wearing masks is smart. I know that it's, a political hot button right now, but in order to keep everybody safe and just try to take caution at its highest level, I think it makes a lot of sense to wipe things down and be sensitive to other people's health concerns, even if we don't necessarily share those concerns ourselves, to be good stewards of the community, our clients, and what have you. Again, that's not a political statement. I'm not interested in, the opposing political views on that. I'm just saying, from the standpoint of best practices as a professional, it's probably in our interest to do that. So that said, Leslie, let's take a look at our June.
Okay, give me just a second here. Sorry, a lot of screens going, so.
I know it's hard to, I don't know how you guys do that. I could never do that in a million years. Not my gift. So I can speak to it a little bit just to get started. Oh, it looks like it's coming up here. Okay, so if you look at our growth, we also had a very good June, our best month ever, actually, and we added, honestly, in June, a lot of those additions were, happened in June. So those people wouldn't necessarily have had an opportunity to sell anything under our purvey. So that 21.47% of increase in agent count, while it's true, is a little bit skewed, and we'll see a little bit more of the benefits of that collectively as the months and into next year. But if you kind of scroll down, Leslie, if you could scroll the page down a bit and get into the next page, it kind of speaks to what I want to talk about. So if you go down to the middle of the page and you look at the total revenue, and that AGC is total revenue adjusted gross commission income, was 2.54 million, 2.545 million, excuse me, on on 2,057,000, so a 23.71% increase. So we trended with our increase in agent count, but if you really look at it, we outperformed the 4% that the market went up, because our agent count that would have been accessible to actually sell units would have been more like 15%. So we outperformed the market by about 3 or 4, and we did have our best month ever, $93 million on $75 million of last year, so a 23.62% increase, and units were up about 18%. So collectively, our business is very, very robust. It's healthy. We're doing well. You guys are all doing very, very well. But I don't want people that maybe have not done as well in the first half of the year to get discouraged, because it is fairly bifurcated. And there's people that, for whatever reasons, like I'm talking high producers, it's been harder because there's just not, it's not like they're, like I said, it's not like they're going into listing agreement or listing presentations and losing. They're just not able to get in front of as many people, and it's a numbers game. If you can't get as much listed just because there's not the opportunity to, and we have, the better part of 3,300 agents, and we have, 1,500 active houses, it's just difficult to grow when you're at that level. It's statistically difficult. Also, if you had to stay at home with children, or you had a parent that was ill, or you had loved ones that needed attention or whatever, don't be down on yourself, because it's been a weird 3 months, 4 months. So whatever it is, March, 3.5 months, I guess, March, April, May, June. So 3.5 months, 4 months now, I guess, 4 months. So it's just been an odd 4 months, and that's been, that's 67% of the year, up to this point. So, or close to it, 60% maybe. So I would not look at this data as, oh God, I'm not doing well, everybody's doing well, I'm not doing well. It's not true. It's been a little bit of everything. It's been a hodgepodge. We've had really people that are incredibly successful do, not have their best year. We've had people that are, new do well. We've had people in the middle that have kind of it's been a hodgepodge. So I don't want anybody to get disappointed with themselves. I think the key is, what are we doing to assess our behavior from the standpoint of business development? Are we time blocking those 2 hours a day? Are we writing the notes? Are we delivering the pop buys? Are we making the phone calls? Are we doing the Zoom calls with our clients? Are we adding value to people? Are we being strategic and structured in our behavior every day? And those are the metrics that I would implore you to try to stick by, not necessarily what's sold or hasn't sold, because the dynamic of what's occurred over the last 4 months is so unprecedented that you could have been knocked out of just a number of deals just because of the circumstances that were totally outside of your control. And if anything would have been different, would have happened. I can tell you anecdotally of, I bet I got knocked out of $3 million just because, luxury people were leery, still are to a certain extent. And it just happens. And I recognize that it's easy for people to be disappointed in themselves when certain things aren't happening perfectly, because they see the aggregated statistics and think, oh, well, everybody's doing well. Well, that's not necessarily the case. So there's been circumstances that have been difficult, and so certain things have been outside of our control. So those that have done well, I celebrate you and congratulate you. Those that want to do better or think they're going to do better, let's just do the right thing every day. Do the right thing by people and participate in the right behavior. Those metrics are way more important than the sales, because once this thing subsides, and it will, we're going to get a vaccine and we're going to get a situation where it'll be a new normal, but it's going to be normal, more normal than it is currently, then you will hit your stride. So what I would say is, don't worry about the first half of the year. Worry about what you can do moving forward. And if you participate in the right behavior, you'll get the results that you want. So with that, that's all I got.
All you got. Good stuff. Does anybody have any questions on any of it? Bueller. Okay, great. So I'm going to kick it over to Kelly, and we've got some mail money and an update on a new referral portal that we've got going.
I do, yes. All right, let me figure out how to share my screen now. Go share screen. Okay. Okay, I think you gotta move this over. All right, can everybody see the screen?
Yep.
Your mail money going? Okay. So yes, as Leslie mentioned, I do have recognition for mail money, but I have an exciting announcement too, as it pertains to mail money. And so we'll get started. Of course, mail money, that is the reward that you get for submitting outgoing referrals. You get a piece of the pie, a piece of the commission when you send a referral to somebody in a different market. When you have a client or a family or friend or somebody who's moving in another area and they need an agent, you refer them out to somebody, preferably within the Realogy network, because we do want to keep the money in the family, keep the business going within Realogy. Realogy, supports financially and otherwise our technology advancements, our trainings, and other things like that. So with that, I'm going to start with the announcement. We do have a new agent exchange app that allows you to refer on the go. So what that is, what is the Agent Exchange app? It's a new app for your mobile phone that empowers you to match your customers with a trusted agent of your choice outside of your market. So you can download this Agent Exchange app to your mobile phone via the Google Play or the Apple App Store, and it will provide you a faster connection to a different agent, and it's a simplified referral submission process. Also allows you to track and manage your outgoing referrals. So now, as I mentioned before, this app was created by the Realogy Realgy Technology. And so it's all of the agents in, say, Better Homes, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Corcoran, ERA, and Sotheby's. And there are a few others, but those are the main brokerages under Realgy. And the app is going to connect you to one of these brokerages. They display the top 11% of vetted background checked agents in the Realgy family. So when you log in, you can pick an agent, or you can also request an agent that you've worked with before. Say you know an agent from Better Homes and Gardens in Kansas City, you can request that agent to work with for your referral. So this basically just provides you an additional option for submitting your outgoing referrals and tracking and managing them. But do you have to use the mobile app? No, you do not. You can still use the traditional way of submitting your outgoing referrals via the company intranet, thegoodlifegroup.com, and clicking on Submit Outgoing Referral. Or you can go to the direct link, which is referbettereveryday.com. So with that, I'm going to reveal this month's Mail Money recipients. We have, first off, congratulations to Dawn Grimshaw. She was awarded, and I gotta move my screen a little bit to see. Okay, $1,272.24. Congratulations to Dawn. Cha-ching. Congratulations to Ben Smale, $1,639.13. Mary Jane Zeller, another one, $1,650.98. I think Mary Jane got one last month too. Cha-ching. Brittany Lahane, congratulations, $2,232. And last but not least, woo, big check for Terry Pruitt, $2,755.13. So, congratulations to all those Mail Money recipients. If you want your share of the pie, you can send your outgoing referrals, again, either to the traditional way, referbettereveryday.com, or you can download the new Agent Exchange app. If you have any questions about any of that, just give me a call or contact me at my email.
Awesome. That was a pretty big month. I like it. Nice work, you guys. All right. Well, that's all we have for this sales meeting. And like I said, we're going to change format up a little bit next month. So we're going to do a video with kind of all of these points and add a little extra something. I'm doing dial-up training, like I said, next week on the 28th. And Carol has some really great ATAs coming up as well.
Okay, so this week, I'm sorry, I thought that I had given the information of making a quick change to Justine, and I did not. So that new construction buyer panel is going to be in the August, the first ATA in August, on the first week in August on the 6th. We're going to send out a calendar that shows you all of them that have confirmed. But this week is going to be a gal named Peggy Urioff. And she's from Sacramento area in California, just a dynamic woman. She's a realtor. She's a founder of BNI. She's also a certified financial trust advisor. And so she's got an incredible background, but also being a very successful realtor. She does some amazing things via video, but she owns the website that's called popbyideas.com and has for many years. popbyideas.com. Go on there, take a look at it, and then she's going to join us on Thursday and talk about just everything possible of Popeyes. This gal is the queen of Popeyes in the Northern America, and give you some ideas of what you can do during conditions like this, because California's been locked down for a long time. So, but she has successfully just continued to do it, and she has some seasonal ideas, holiday ideas, just ideas. And she comes up with them all the time. It's a great website. So anyway, that's Thursday's ATA. Please join us. The next one next week is Heather Roxburgh. You guys all remember Heather? Little tiny black dress and big high heels and walked out on a stage, gal. The name of her, her conversation with us is Someday Is Now. And she's just going to talk about how we create our own glass ceiling. So, and then next month is also going to be Greg Mitchell's coming, and then Tom's going to do one on best practices and start talking about things that apply right now, that we need a few more tools in our belt for multiple offers, dealing with FSBOs, things like that. So if you have some timely subjects that you want Tom to address, we'll shove as many as we can into it, and there'll be a panel of people also that he refers to. Pathway to Mastery is scheduled to start on September 14th, Monday, September 14th. It's going to be via Zoom, so every single office can participate. And I'm going to send you out, if I didn't already, Buffini's doing $100 off Pathway to Mastery. And this hopefully will be the last one we do this year. And then in January or February, they should have out the new advanced mastery program. So I will be doing that one as well.
And Carol, can I chime in on the Pathway to Mastery class?
Yes.
You know, for a lot of people know, I take that class every fall because it's like a refresher for me. And, you know, obviously 2020 is a different kind of year, so I don't know what this fall is going to be like. But I feel like I'm going to need it more than ever. Obviously, I'm a mentor. I know how to facilitate the course. That's not it. It's a matter of getting in the group, getting the synergy, getting back on track with my calls, my notes, and Popeyes. I highly encourage anybody who, even if you've taken the course, whatever, fall is the great time to refresh your memory, refresh on Pathway.
And Tim will be on this call every week with us because he's participating in the class, but also he will be able to add a lot of things as well. And the class that took Pathway to Mastery, I wanted to invite all of you that took Pathway to Mastery earlier this year before all hell broke loose to come into to also join us on the class on the Zoom call. You won't get access to the website, but I'm going to show the videos during the class, so you'll be able to watch them again and then participate with the group for at least the portion that is the interaction that we do at the beginning and at the end. So I think it's going to be just like a great way to have start your week on Monday mornings at 10 o'clock. It's 10 to 12, I think, is what I made it. And I'll send it back out again after this meeting. So thanks, you guys, and thanks for your participation in all the ATAs and everything that we're doing to try to let you know we love you daily.
Great. Well, all right, guys, good to see you, and happy July. So if you have any questions on anything we talked about, just let us know. We're all around. So thanks, guys.